All right, welcome back to the channel. Again, we thank you for supporting us in our new endeavor on trying to reach out to the community and share the great things that are happening at HOB. We talked a little bit about our school improvement plan earlier, and today we're going to talk all things school safety. That's a hot topic all over the country, and I wanted to share with you how we go about our safety and security here at our school. We have wonderful people at the district. Alfredo Vasquez and Daliana Goins work with us to make sure our school is safe, and I'm fortunate enough to have another one of my assistant principals here, Scott Meier, who's in charge of our safety and security here. Scott, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit, tell people about how we handle security here and how they can be assured that their kids are safe here.
All right. The biggest thing is the school district itself has an overarching plan that reaches over to make sure security is set up for all of our schools. So as Mr. Dessels mentioned, Alfredo Vasquez, he is the person who's in charge of our safety and security, and he has a very good mind when it comes to safety and security. With that said, all of our teachers beginning are trained under what's called the ALICE training program. That gives them the power of knowledge on what to do in any type of emergency situation. So that could be anything from a fire, anything up to possibly a weather issue, or even beyond something that could be violent that teachers are trained on to be able to handle. Every teacher has it. Every parapro has that training. So everybody gets trained in that, and they have that knowledge, and we track that. We sign off on that to make sure that they've all completed that every year. We also have in our schools, we have a single point of entry, which every person who comes into our schools has to come in. All of the other gates are locked during the day. There are signs to tell people they need to report to the office.
Isn't it true that they also have to use what's called a Raptor to even come in past our doors? They have to give their driver's license, and then they get a sticker, and they're cleared. So no one should be walking around our campus without being identified.
That's exactly correct. They'll come in, they'll be greeted by our front desk staff, and they will then use that Raptor system to make sure that the person is good to go. With that in mind, we also have IDs that every staff member wears while they're here in school and while they're coming into school. So as they have those IDs, anybody who doesn't see an ID on somebody, they're empowered to say, excuse me, hey, what are you doing here? What can I do? How can I help you find wherever you need to go? So that way it's just one more level of a whole bunch of eyes on everything.
By the way, I do have mine.
Yeah, some people have them on their...
They're looking at us like, well, Scott has them. What's going on?
No, that's...
Actually, dealing with certain students, the lanyard can be a safety hazard in itself, so I choose to wear it on my belt.
You're exactly correct, and that's a good point. The other thing we have is we have security cameras all around our school. The security cameras are monitored all the time by various people, and they are in areas where we know we need to watch what's going on, whether it's lots of student movement or just our gates and our perimeter fences. So we have the security cameras to do that. The other big piece that we're very lucky is we have a Key West Police Department SRO, School Resource Officer, and he's here full time, very well trained. The really nice thing is he has a great relationship with kids. So he builds that relationship with the children, and we also have their supervisor housed here also. So many times during the week, we have two people in here as SROs roaming our campus.
Excellent.
On top of that, all of our classroom doors are locked. When students are in those classrooms, those doors are locked, and they cannot be unlocked except by the person who has the key for that room. The other key piece to that is our exterior doors. Now with some of the new state regulations, any of our exterior doors are locked on our buildings too.
That's great. It's very secure. I love it. And who are our neighbors?
Yeah, well, that's the nicest thing is we do have the police department right next door. The Key West Police and Fire Department are right next door to us, so the response time is immediate.
That's awesome. So very safe school, very safe building. Now let's shift it to our kids. So when in my third year here, and when I first got, I was told, HOB is one of the toughest schools. There are fights there all the time, and I'm going to be honest, there aren't a lot of fights here. We have some cultural differences that create some conflict, but I think we have the supports here to deal with that. So that is a myth about the fighting at HOB. Every middle school, by the way, that I've ever been at has fights. Right? We got young teenagers, but we have a good grip on it. We have a good system to deal with it. But on a more serious situation, I want to talk. Scott is also our bullying chairperson. So he takes care of our bullying situation. Now, a lot of parents say, oh, my kid gets bullied all the time, no one does anything about it. Well, that's not us. We're here today to tell you that we take bullying very seriously, and we have a specific process that we go through. And Scott, why don't you share the process that we go through for that?
Sure. The first thing we always have our students do is make sure if they see something, they say something. And that could be if you see somebody picking on somebody, saying something negative about somebody, let somebody know. Let a trusted adult know here at school. If they don't have that trusted adult here yet in school, since we're early in the school year, they can use their family, talk to their parent. Parents have the ability to call in, but when a student says something to their teacher or one of our trusted adults here, they're able to go to our counselors. Our counselors then talk to find out what was going on, see what was happening. They talk with the kids. We have a whole system of questions that they ask, and then as they see that and speak with the kids, they say, this does look like a bullying situation as it goes through the different criteria. Then they'll hand that over to me, and then I'll follow up with more things. I'll call parents, I'll talk to kids, I talk to teachers, then I'll call parents again to let them know what we find out. I will tell you this. I would say 98% of the time, it's resolved the moment we sit down and talk to them. Because no parent wants to hear, your kid's a bully. No, they said, don't worry. If I ever had to call, they said, Mr. Meier, please, it'll never happen again. So if somebody said something once or twice to somebody, we get on it right away and we stop it right there in its tracks. And that, I believe, is what the whole process is for.
Yeah, and I believe our bullying is taken care of. We may have higher numbers than some schools on paper just because we do it the right way. We fill out the forms. Yes, we report it. We report it to the state. So that's the other piece that kind of detracts bullying, is because when they find out, well, we're reporting it to the state, the parents are like, whoa, we need to figure this out. So we work together, collaborate with parents. So bottom line, if you feel that your kid is bullied and they're nervous about talking to an adult, shoot me an email. Shoot Mr. Meier an email, and we'll look into it. We'll take care of it. We'll meet with the parties involved, and we'll certainly take care of it.
Most definitely. And it doesn't end there. I personally follow up with each student for usually the remainder of the school year. Just a little quick, hey, everything okay? So that way students can let me know whether the stuff we did was effective.
That's great. So we're lucky to have you. I appreciate all the work you do for us.
I'm lucky to be here.
Yeah, you're our longest standing assistant principal, administrator here. So, and you've been a great help since I've arrived, and you've been on board with all the crazy safety stuff that I want to do and the bullying piece that I brought here.
That's great.
So I thank you so much. So
anything for kids.
That's what we're here for. So I want to thank all of you for watching and continue to support. Don't forget to subscribe and like our page. There'll be more videos as time goes on, and right now we're talking a little bit about how we operate, but very soon I've got a long list of kids who want to be involved. So starting in the upcoming weeks, we'll be getting out of my office and onto campus and sharing a lot of things with you. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.